Hey, what's going on, guys? Nick here, and I'm super excited to talk with one of my favorite guys who's entered into the Crusaders training program here. He's been a great friend, and he's got some amazing results that I wanted to chat with him about here today. So, Andrew Johnson, we want to welcome him here. Andrew, if you can just give a quick background of yourself, talk about what you're doing before the Crusader program and where you were at, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah. So my name's Andrew. I'm a former professional athlete up here in Canada. So I used to play Canadian football. That's the CFL up here for us who are big Canadian fans. So I played there for a couple years, but then I wanted to start my own business. So we started our own business, had a really good first year. And then things kind of, partner issues, obviously changing Facebook algorithms, I'll use that same excuse everyone else used, led to like literally a perfect storm kind of around right where the course came out, which we'll kind of share with where I'm at. So in our first year, we did really well. We had a really hot start working with an extremely big local business. So like $100 million local business. That helped get our name out. But then, from there, we were working with those clients. But then as recently, so heading into midway through our second year, we kind of reached a lull. And that's when your course came out. So right when it was kind of caught, it was in like a state of despair almost. Like things were changing a lot. And we really had to find a pivot.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yep.
And I know that it was amazing talking with you through that journey. I mean, let's talk about how it happened after you got in the course, saw some of the training programs, saw the video sales, letter, the way of structuring calls, the way of prospecting, man. What happened after that? Because I know that you had started off good and then hit some rough times, which happens in business. Just for anyone watching, it's a roller coaster. Ain't nobody trying to pretend this shit's easy, right? But let's talk about what happened after you jumped in, man.
Well, after I jumped in, so I'll be very candid about some things. So I know you said you want me to be clear on some monetary pieces, and I definitely will, but I just want to be very candid. So when I joined, it was such an interesting point because I was like, okay, business is kind of tight. We had good cash flow, but it was more of like, okay, this might be the last time that cash flow comes in for this client. So it was one of those moments where taking the course was genuinely almost like a chance because I was like, like it's kind of a little tight right now. Is this the move to go? But then after making that decision, holy geez, I mean, it's like now looking back in hindsight, that's probably the best money I've ever spent on my business in my entire life. And I'll be very honest about it. So right away, and this is what I'm comfortable talking about because as I told you, I have some very large kind of like deals that are sitting there. But since the course, so we started, when was the course started? In May or April?
Something like that, a couple months,
so,
yeah.
So in May and June alone, I did an extra 40K of business. Wow. So I'm definitely super comfortable bringing that up. I was really busy, very busy, which is also why I was a little, I guess, distant in the groups of what I'd like to be. But the process in terms of the video sales letter and his follow-up process for the omnipresent strategy is insane. And there's little pieces of it. I mean, of course, you'll take a course and, there's little pieces you're doing. I'm sure there's like that in lots of things. But the way that your system is kind of like the loop is closed it's phenomenal. And I could definitely, like, I'm still using the methods. I'm still landing, right now, this last week alone, I lined up over 20 meetings. Just this last week alone, 20 different sit downs with, people with money in my local city or on the phone of very close region, using a lot of the LinkedIn strategies and the Facebook strategy and the custom prospecting. Man, the week before I was at about 12 meetings. And the week before that, I think I was at 14. So like I've done double digit meetings on me alone every single week. Obviously, if you guys run your own numbers and test your own numbers and you have those numbers for yourself,
it's about it. 40,
going very well.
Yeah, 40 meetings. It's almost impossible not to trip and fall into new clients with that, man. That's exciting.
Yeah.
I love it, man. Cool. So with that, you kind of touched upon this a little bit, but what would you say is your favorite part of the program? What was the most beneficial for you?
I mean, like it's actually very true. There's a lot of parts that really elevated it for us. So there's obviously how you go about sales. Like the whole, like I said, the omnipresent strategy, how you have some of your automation tools set up, and how you do your follow-up. is pretty crazy. That part right there has probably been the best because it's in that in the video sales letter. Because I mean, essentially, for anyone watching the video sales letter, when you take it, like you literally, no, I didn't copy anything. But when you take out your, his stuff and put in your kind of stuff or get creative on how you do it, at the very least, as long as you have like one key piece, which I won't talk about it, but it's at the end, you have that one key piece, you can just set up your product demo however you like, or your pitch deck however you like for you. And so I think really seeing that process, I mean, for obvious reasons, that alone is what had helped make a lot of that money.
Video's everything, man, for opening the door. Using
Yeah.
video to get in front of our prospects, make things real. And once you figure out, because I've got the blueprints on the video setters there, but like I said, once you find the good fit for you, and it gives a walk-by-walk, slide-by-slide instruction, right?
Mhm.
But once you find out how to nail it for your own prospecting methods, it's lethal. And we've seen so many people with that, man. So I love that. And then, so the last question, I would ask you here, Andrew, is, if someone was on the fence or was considering joining, the Krusader training program, what would you tell them?
Oh man, no break. I've taken, like I said, this last year, I know I've spent a ridiculous load of money, close to over six figures in terms of courses, mentors, all that extra kind of, business coach, all that extra stuff. This is hands down of anything I've purchased, the best purchase I've ever made on a course, coach, whatever you might want to call it. I mean, because here's what you get the course, and then there's the membership side of it to where you get the daily interactions with, the people actually doing it.
Yeah.
And I like the peer groups, guys, no brainer, absolute no brainer of the quality of people in there. It has been the best purchase I've made towards my business in my life. 100%.
I love it, dude. I love it. And we're just getting started. We got a lot of big things to come. Andrew, you're a fucking rock star, my man. Appreciate you taking some time.
Appreciate it. Yeah, absolutely. Right, absolutely. Man.